Hello, teacher and classmates. This is Marisabel Cajamarca, and today I'm going to give you a fast tutorial about how to use Zoom by using Zoom. So I am going to share my screen, some slides that I did for this activity, and let's enjoy them. Okay, it is about how to use Zoom. Well, what is Zoom? Zoom helps businesses and organizations bring their teams together in frictionless environment to get more done. Our easy, reliable cloud platform for video, voice, content sharing, and chat runs across mobile devices, desktops, telephones, and room systems. Zoom is publicly traded in Nasdaq and headquartered in San Jose, California. So this is the information Zoom and Wikipedia gives us. But the most important is that you can use this platform free, but it is always for a period of time. You don't have the time you want. You only have 45 minutes to complete your activities in a free way. And you can do classes, you can teach online, and it is really good because the students can be involved with you in the activity. The mission is to have communications about frictionless, and the video communications are powering in a country more. Their values are really interesting because they say we care for our company, customers, community, teammates, ourselves, and our culture, delivering happiness. Yes, it is really good because of the pandemic, we have to be a part of our families. So Zoom is the best alternative in order to have a meeting or to know about the others, to connect many people. Okay, how to download it? It is not difficult. You just have to type Zoom in the Google bar, and then you can see this part. You can download it, and it is going to be like an application in your phone, because you can also download it in your phone, and you can also have an application in your desk, so you just have to get in. But if you prefer, you can also click here and just enter the password in the username another person gives you. Okay, when you download the application, you're gonna have this screen. In this screen you can see the next menus, like begin, chat, meetings, contacts, the time in real, new meeting, join, dating, and sharing the screen. No? So as you can see here, I am going to start with chat. In chat, you can see the messages, maybe if you send some files or the whole files you have. If you are logged, you can see in this part, okay? Now, when you go to meetings, you are gonna see your ID personal, and you can start a meeting with this. You can send it to anyone, and this person just have to log in into Zoom. It could be through the application or or maybe through the web page, and they can be together. You can also copy an invitation. You can also edit it, and you can also send an invitation. Then the next part is the contacts. I don't have any contact in my Zoom because it hasn't been necessary. The only thing I do is to study an agenda, and then students or relatives or the people you want to communicate with have to open and type the codes I am sending them. So that's why I don't have any contact, but if you want, you can add them. Okay, when you have the other menu, so it means the application, here you have joining into a meeting. When you join into a meeting, you have to start by writing the ID anyone sends you. And after this, you have to put a joining, and then you have to type the password. You can also program a meeting. You can program the time, but it is no more than 45 minutes. You can put a name of it, and then you can complete the next part, the idea of the meeting. If you want him or her or them to have a password for it to be more private, it's going to depend on you. How they are going to start with the video on or the video off. It is also going to be into the calendar of Google. So Google is gonna tell you when to start the meeting. When you start your meeting on Zoom, you have the alternative of not to turn on your computer, your camera, and in that case, your picture is gonna be seen. But I think that Zoom is the kind of tool that you have to use as it is, because the video is super friendly, and then you can see what your students are doing. In here, when you start your meeting, you can see the next parts like silence. You can turn off the microphones of the participants. So if you listen something and you cannot teach, the only thing you have to do is turn off the microphone of any participant. Or maybe if you are seeing something that is not polite, maybe you can turn off the camera. You have some managers of security. In that part, what you can find is blocking a meeting, or maybe starting with a waiting room, or maybe sharing a screen. I'm sorry. In the participants, you can also add more people, or you can send this invitation by using Google, and then you can find the contacts of your Google, and then you can select them, okay? Then you have here the chat. You can send messages, and you can also send some files, or maybe if you prefer, you can send some links, and then your students in real time have to be developing the activity you share with them. In sharing a screen, you can share the screen as I am doing right now, or if you prefer, you can only share an audio or just the video, or maybe both, the audio and the video. You can also record, as I told you before. Recording is maybe the most important of this tool, because you must have, as a teacher, we must have lots of evidences about our work. Actually, nowadays it's very difficult not to have evidence, because parents are next to students and they are checking what we are doing. So that's the reason why we have to be all the time trying to improve what we know about technology. Nowadays there are many different ways of motivating our students. I know it's very difficult, because when we are working face to face, as teachers, we have to be under our students, encouraging them to participate, motivating them to speak. And with this kind of education nowadays, it is even harder, because students don't want to speak, students don't want to open their cameras, and it's too hard to obtain a good result. So we must do our best. It will depend on authorities, it will depend on parents, but we have to do our best work, okay? And then finally you have the reactions or emoticons. It's really good to have this, because students can feel more motivated for that kind of pictures. If you are going to send them an advice, it's better to have an emoticon than writing the whole phrase, okay? So that is Zoom 4. There is a number of participants, it is 250. You can join 250, so this is the kind of platform that can be used with lots of students, because there are schools in which you can work with 10, 15 or 20 participants, but there are schools in which you have 30, 40 students, and it becomes a bit harder. And you can also manage better the students, better the participants. I also work with Teams of Microsoft Office, It is not hard to use. Actually, it is pretty easy, but you cannot manage the students as you can do it in Zoom. And for that size, you can only see 4 participants and no more. But that is a problem when you want to know what they are doing, if they completed the activity or not. So the only thing I can say in order to finish is that we have to keep practicing how to use technology better, to check more activities, to try to understand the students. And one of the best things we can also do is to try to have better relationships with parents, because they are going to be we are going to be in the middle of a jury, and they are going to tell us all the time if we are doing our work good or not. So that is my invitation, to keep studying, to keep developing information, to try to look for new alternatives, um, and keep studying, because it's the only thing we have to do. That is all. Thank you very much for your attention. Bye.